What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick, and I want to welcome you back for another one of my album reviews. Obviously, this is to the newest album from CLC titled Nu.Clear. I'm going to talk about it, a little bit of what I liked, a little bit of what I didn't like, and then we'll finish it off with basically my review score, which is whether or not I think that I'm going to be spending money on this, if I think that this is worth spending money on. So, let's get it started. And for this album, of course, it's their second release of the year, their first release as 7 members, because of course the other 2 who were recently added through their last 2 promotions were tied up with Produce 101 obligations, so they weren't released to participate in the group until this point. Although we didn't know that these 2 members were actually part of the group until High Heels, but that doesn't matter. Their full group, as Cube, as they say, originally intended, is here, and we have got this song and album. And of course, like I said in my reaction video, I think that this album is actually, or the song I should say, is actually pretty good. It is not really near the level of their debut, because their debut was definitely by far their best song that they've ever released, but they are definitely on the right track towards getting towards better music. And this album also is in a way is kind of a step in that direction as well. It's full of really great, maybe really great is kind of an exaggeration, but it is full of really awesome music. Solid, I should say. Solid is is the real word that I'm trying to say, but it's good. It's good. It's solid. It's respectable. It's not terrible music. It's not going to be anything that's going to be winning any awards anywhere. But at this point, CLC doesn't need to be making music that is blowing people away. Although it would be very helpful if they did, obviously. So it's not like the best album ever. It's not their best album ever. Maybe it's their second or third. It's probably close to second or third, because of course their debut album was definitely their best. I did definitely enjoy listening to it. Every song on here is pretty unique. And again, I'd like to emphasize this. It's not really up to the same level as their other music, but like I said, and the thing that I am, taking out of this and am really appreciating is that this is a step in the right direction as far as the quality of music for this group, because from their debut, it went backwards, and this is, going forwards from their last release, so that is really great. The album put together the way that you normally would expect a K-pop album to be put together, because and I mention this because this is a thing that I like to kind of take into consideration when you listen to an album. From what is it, how does do the songs flow, how is it constructed from start to finish? Because I kind of think that every single album is a bit of a musical journey. So you start from song 1 and you finish on song 6 with this album, I think it is. And how did you get from that start point to that finish point? And this one is pretty normal. It's not like there's anything super crazy in there. You start with the super pop songs, and you end with a ballad song, and you gradually make your way to there. The first half of the album are the pop songs, which are cool and fun, and basically kind of like typical generic kind of pop songs. It's not like they're good, but they're not bad either. And then you've got the second half of the album, which are, more vocally oriented ballads type songs, where, song 4 is more of a pop ballad kind of thing. And then you get closer down to the ballads. And those last 3 songs on this album definitely are my favorites, just because they are the most unique and most memorable songs on this album. The first half, maybe excluding the promotion song, aren't really stuff that I'm going to be like going to listen to if I had to pick a song off this album. But definitely the last half of the album is where the strength is at. So that's super awesome. So my score, I guess you can say, what I think of this album, how I would spend my money, is like, I'm not really particularly super hyped to buy this album. Definitely, if I was gonna spend money on it outside of I don't, and I'm really kind of torn on this. Like, what should I do? Because on one hand, if people don't buy this album, and people don't spend money on CLC's music, then of course the group doesn't make money. Cube basically then just says the group sucks. They had, as far as business wise, we're wasting our money with them, so they're done. And then CLC doesn't exist anymore. They just disband. And I don't want to see that. I really want to support these groups that they can, reach their full potential and, become a pretty decently popular or really popular, whatever their potential is, really, because we don't know, group in K-pop. That they can continue their career to reach their, potential and their an appropriate popularity standing in K-pop. I really want to see that. But on the other hand, I don't particularly want to spend money on music that I do not think is the best. So I don't, and that's kind of like, spending money on a bad product or something like that, in a way, is kind of like reinforcing or the company's decision. Like, that did really well. And I know that it was, and even if it was terrible, people still spent all their money on it. So, we'll give them more of that in the future. I don't really want to do that. But on the other hand, like, this stuff, like I said in this entire, review, basically, the album isn't that bad. It's definitely, I think, worth spending money on. Other people are going to like it more than I did, of course. That's just the way it goes with music. And, spending money on this, I'm fully for it. I think that what I will end up doing with this is, at the very least, I will buy, the couple of the songs on iTunes or something like that. And possibly just because I like CLC as a group and I just really want to support them, I'm honestly probably going to end up buying a physical copy of this relatively soon. Maybe after KCON or something like that. Because like I like CLC, I like them as a group, and I want to, collect their albums and support them. And, that's kind of what I think. But, overall, it's, I guess disappointing is a bit of a strong word, but that's what I've got written down here as just the way to end this review. Like, the album is a bit disappointing because it could be so much better than it is, and I know that CLC can do so much better, and not CLC can do so much better, but more like Cube can give CLC such a much better, product. And the fact that they didn't really get that is disappointing. But on the other hand, the album is okay. It's a pop album. It's not going to be blowing anybody's minds. And it's not bad. So, overall, it's okay. And like I said, I would spend my money on it, but then also I wouldn't. So, I'm kind of like in between here. It says if we were going to give it like a score out of 5, I guess a 3 would be a rating that I would give it. I don't know, but there you go. That's what I had to say. That's basically it. And most of this I know is comparing this to their previous music and just kind of just making the point very, very clear that I think that this is better than, or a step towards, their Pepe, their debut and their debut album and music and stuff like that. But it's really the main thing that I got out of listening to this and is really what I wanted to say. So there you go. That's it. That is all that I want to say. So if you've listened to this album, I want you to let me know what you think about it and how you're going to spend your money down in the comments below or over on social media through Twitter and Facebook. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. The thing that caught my attention with their debut song, and that is the fact that this group has got, some strong, people who fill up that rap position, and this one also has just equally amazing and great rap portions. They're fantastic. It's really, really great. Not to mention as well